Hey there everyone, and welcome back to the Honeybee Stamps YouTube channel. This is Kelly and I'm so glad to have you here for day 3 of the Love Letters release. This is coming to honeybeestamps.com on January the 2nd. First, we're going to do a quick scan of today's Pretty Postage collection. This is our new freebies for 2021, and we'll talk more about those in just a second. You can see how sweet that is. There's some great stamps and coordinating dies. So this is the Pretty Postage stamp and its coordinating die. We have some lovely layers die cuts, which are absolutely beautiful. I'll give you a look at that. There's some new buzzwords. So we have honey here and the 3-piece coordinating die set. There's a large floral set that has a beautiful bouquet and then lots and lots of great greetings that are going to go along with that. There's also a floral wrap. So that is a die that's going to coordinate along with your bouquet. There is a stencil and a cover plate die. I'm excited to share with you a new series of freebies this year. So the whole series is called Be Young, and this one is specifically called Love. You can see there's the sweet little girl in her little striped dress with fairy wings or butterfly or bee wings. There's lots of sentiments: be happy, be my Valentine, be mine. And you can see the little bees and the butterfly. Now this stamp is free with the purchase of $75 or more. And then with purchases of $100 or more, you receive the stamp and the coordinating die set. You can see it cuts out the little girl and all the sentiments, and of course those little bees and the butterfly. As with all of our freebies, these are while supplies last, and we cannot wait to see what you create with the new Be Young series. We also have a set of envelopes available. These specifically coordinate with our Love Letters 6x6" paper pad. So on the outsides of the envelopes, you're going to have a great place to write your address and their return address. So lots of space there, beautiful colors. And then on the inside is going to be one of the great patterns. Now these will be available for purchase, but they'll also be free when you purchase one of our bundle sets. So make sure you look for that over at honeybeestamps.com. Here's a look at the whole set of envelopes together with that beautiful paper pad. You can see how well those coordinate, so beautiful. And then the inside of those envelopes are so much fun. Now this next stamp set is called Pretty Postage. You can see we have the envelope there in the background and this big burst of florals and a bouquet. Lots of great little sentiments like missing you, friend, love enclosed, and hello. There's also a coordinating die set that is available alongside this stamp set. So you can see it's going to cut out all the way around your Pretty Postage there, and then you have dies to cut out each one of those sentiments. Next up is the Heart Vine dies. Now this is the newest in our series of lovely layers dies. This is so beautiful and delicate. There's 2 layers to this, and I'm going to show you how beautiful these are when they are used either alone, or you can layer these together for a really cool look. So I have ink blended some cardstock, and I'm going to cut one layer, which is that bottom base layer. You can see the solid hearts there. I'm going to cut that layer with my blended cardstock. And then what would be the top layer, I'm going to cut with white cardstock. So I'm just going to place this on that color blended background exactly where I'd like it, so I can get a little bit of each color all the way across my die cut. And then after I run these through my die machine, I'm going to use my Honeybee Stamps little poker tool, and I'm going to poke those out and kind of gently pull away that delicate die cut. You can see that beautiful top layer with the vine and then all the little heart leaves. So that's the top layer. And then my colorful layer is what would be used as the base layer. But you can see how beautiful that's going to be even by itself. So again, I'm going to use my little Honeybee Stamps poker tool and poke out that layer, and then you can see how beautiful that bottom layer is with the color blended background all the way across. Now I'm going to set these together, and that'll give you a little glimpse at what that looks like when they're adhered together. You can see the underneath layer with all the blended color. Now I'm going to quickly use some of our Be Creative Precision Tip glue, and I'm just going to go along what would be kind of the stems or the vines there. Use my little Honeybee Stamps poker tool and kind of line everything up before I press it down into place. And I think there are some fun ways that you could use this. You can either adhere all that flat, and I'm going to show you that look right now when it's all adhered at flat, and then you get the fun layers. Or I think you could give it dimension by kind of turning up and bending just slightly your leaves, and that gives it a really delicate, fun look with a little bit of dimension to go on your card projects. I'm going to hold that up to the camera so you can get a close-up look. You can see how delicate those nice little leaves are and how beautiful that layering is. Now I've added a still shot here so you can see what that looks like on an A2 size card. So that's 4¼ by 5½ inches. And you can see it takes up a lot of real estate there. It would be beautiful with a sentiment right across the center or stamped anywhere around it. They're just gorgeous. Here's a look at those two dies one more time. So you've got that great base layer or the top layer. These would be great used by themselves or layered together as I've shown here. Next up is our new buzzword, and this is honey. So lots of fun, great mix and match sentiments to go along with honey. Honey, I love you. Hello, honey. Be my honey bunny. Be my honey bunch. Sweet as honey. Sweet friend. You're a keeper. Over the moon for you. Be mine. So lots of great words that are going to be perfect for Valentine's Day, anniversaries for your significant other. It's just a really fun stamp set. As with all of our buzzword sets, there is a 3-piece coordinating die set. In that die set, there are 2 shadows. So there's going to be a basic shadow that's going to go right around that scripty word and frame it perfectly. And then there's a larger shadow that has a cut line and then the pierced edge all the way around. Next, I have a beautiful 6 by 8 inch stamp set to share with you. This is called Love You Bunches. You can see that beautiful bunch of flowers there, the bouquet. There's lots of great greetings here. So hello friend, hello lovely, we're better together, you're never alone, sending strength. You are my person. Our friendship isn't one big thing, it's a million little things. Thank you for making the ordinary moments extraordinary. Your friendship means so much to me. Here for you always. So these are great for birthdays, as a pick you up, anything like that. And of course, there are some beautiful florals drawn by Emily Midget. There's a coordinating die set that's going to go along with the stamp set. It's going to cut out that beautiful floral bouquet along with every one of those sentiments that you see there. There's also a fun little addition die that goes along perfectly with this set. This is the floral bouquet wrap, and it's going to wrap up that little Love You Bunches bouquet perfectly. So you can see here I've used that one single die and cut out some of our pattern paper, and it makes the perfect little wrap. The scored lines are embossed when you run that through your die machine, so it's super easy to fold up. And then your cut bouquet is going to slip right down into your wrap. Next up is the Whimsical Hearts cover plate die and stencil. Now these can be used together or separately. You can see that die has a cut line all the way around, and then with all of those little hearts, those are going to be cut out. And then there's also the coordinating stencil that can line up with that die. Now I'm going to create a card with some of the products that I've shown today. Here is a look at that die once it is cut out. I love how it cuts out the whimsical hearts, and it has those hearts that kind of hang off of the edge. I just love that little touch and detail with this cover plate die. There's also the stencil, so I'm going to show you what that looks like as well. I just have some white cardstock, I'm going to place the stencil right over the top, and I'm going to use some speckled egg Distress Oxide ink. Now, this is a really cool look, but I think this would be even prettier had I done like a rainbow design or something really cool with the hearts back there, maybe even some glitter paste. Once I get that speckled egg all brushed on, I peel my stencil back and you can see that beautiful design. And this is what it looks like when that die cut is placed right over the top and those are layered together. And for my card today, I'm going to use the Love You Bunches stamp and die set plus this cover plate die. And I'm just going to place that cover plate die, the die cut, on a white background. So I'm going to do white on white because I'm going to have a lot of color going on with my floral bunch. So I treated my brand new stamp with some sticky embossing ink, and that just kind of gets it nice and dirty and treats it and gets it prepped to stamp. I find that I have better luck with stamping and getting a clean image after I just add a little bit of embossing ink. I had that in my Misty and stamped that with some Copic friendly ink. And then for my sentiment, I'm going to stamp my sentiment with VersaFine Black Onyx ink. I just love the way that that VersaFine ink stamps for sentiments. It's nice and crisp and clear. Now here is that little bouquet wrap die. You can see that's exactly the paper and everything I showed you earlier. You can see my speckled egg design there that I did with the stencil, and then there is the die cut with the white on white. I'm going to keep it simple and just use the white on white. So I have a top folding card base that I'm getting all prepped and ready to go. I did some Copic coloring for my florals, and I'm just going to use a little bit of my Honeybee Stamps Precision Tip glue pen to get on all those little nooks and crannies, just adding a little bit of glue here and there. And I'm going to get that cover plate die cut lined up and then pressed right onto that white card base. So you can see that really fun tone on tone design with the hearts that are going to be there in the background. So now I have my bouquet wrap. I have my Love You Bunches bouquet that slips right down in there perfectly. And I'm actually going to wrap that up with a little bit of baker's twine, hold it in place with my liquid glue, wrap it around a few times, and then tie that in a bow with the help of my handy dandy tweezers here. Once I get the bow tied, I'm going to trim off the little tails, and then it's going to be time to add my sentiment, and then this card is pretty much going to be done after that. Now I thought that I wanted to add the sentiment there in white. You can see it in the top right hand corner, the wrapping you in love. Thought that was perfect with the little bouquet wrap. But as you can see there with all the white going on, my sentiment was just not popping for me. So I stamped it again with sticky embossing ink and heat set some white embossing powder on some black cardstock. And you can see that is much, much better. It really made that sentiment pop. So I'm adding some foam tape strategically there and some adhesive, liquid adhesive. And I am going to pop that right there to the side of that little wrap and press it down. And now this little card is all done. Using the Whimsical Heart cover plate die, the Floral Bouquet wrap die, and the Love You Bunches stamps and coordinating dies. Here's a last glance at the card that I created today. You can see all those whimsical hearts there in the background with those beautiful Love You Bunches florals, and then of course that cute little wrap. This wraps up day 3 of the Love Letters release. Make sure you check out the Honeybee Stamps blog, and this release is coming to you January 2nd at honeybeestamps.com. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.